everyone, and welcome to the first episode in our Meet the Venture series for B Lab 2020. So, to start us off, I'd first like to welcome Time Spent and have them introduce themselves really briefly.
Hi everyone, my name's Michelle. I'm a sophomore at Brown studying statistics and sociology. I'm from Princeton, New Jersey.
Hi everyone, I am William Yang. I'm currently in quarantine in my home in New Jersey, and I am a rising junior, so I'm in a class of 2022. I'm studying applied math and CS at Brown.
I'm Hannah Sky Dunnigan. I'll respond to Hannah or Hannah Sky. I am from Rhode Island, actually pretty near to Brown. I am in my second year of the 5-year dual degree program between Brown and RISD, and I'm studying industrial design and economics.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Would you mind telling us a little bit about how you guys met and how you decided to work on Time Spent together?
So we actually met all together in March. I originally had an idea for creating a barter exchange economy with time-based currency in late 2019. I wanted someone to work together on a venture with me, and I reached out to several people, and Hannah was one of the most enthusiastic and passionate people I met. We got along really well right away, and we set goals and worked really efficiently. Of course, we wanted more input from other people, and this is where we met Will early spring. Will was so passionate about the social issues we cared about, building community and fighting socioeconomic disparities. And right away, we knew that he would be a perfect fit for a team. We all decided to be co-founders in late March, and we've been working really hard on our venture ever since.
So, what is the idea behind Time Spent, and how has it developed ever since you guys started working on it?
We first started Time Spent thinking it would be a service exchange platform where people exchange services based on something that we all have, time instead of money. But since then, we've been doing a lot more research and pivoting and thinking about how we can best serve our mission and address a problem. We started off with this one idea. We did a lot of consumer research, and from there we're pivoting and focusing more on languages and culture.
Well, what are you guys working on right now for your venture?
Right now, we are conducting interviews and we're seeing where the unmet need really is. And after our first iteration, we saw that the demand was really for language conversation and that people really wanted to be paired up outside the classroom setting and be able to just talk in the language that they were learning to get that practice and also share something about the culture. And interestingly enough, they actually wanted to be doing an activity while they had that conversation in some cases, rather than just the straight up conversation. Some people found that to be less awkward and easier.
As always, we are doing so much bottom-up research, which is basically just talking to people, observing, and listening to them. We just finished our first round of interviews, including 22 Brown students and 3 language teachers, and we got some really valuable takeaways, which we will use for our prototype in the future. And some takeaways that we got were culture, community, and practice is really important for learning languages. And so right now we're actually in the week before B Lab even starts, we're doing this sprint procedure. And sprint procedure is basically, it's developed by someone from Google, and it's a 1-week procedure for solving problems. And so we're using this week to build and test a prototype to solve problems and to, as always, continue to validate our unmet need and conduct consumer research by talking to more people. And also, last thing is we have a coding team, which is helping us build our website while we're still doing this business side. So existing language learning platforms are not adequate. Students aren't learning in classrooms, and they're reaching out online for resources, and they're not sufficient. And so what we did was we really talked to people, and we found that if this was a large unmet need for them, if they wanted to learn languages, and what was important for them in learning languages. And we also did top-bottom research where we basically verified that this is a huge unmet need, that schools are failing. One interesting statistic that we found is that 93 of high schools offer a language, but only 1% of these students actually are proficient in these languages. And this was our motivation kind of to solve this problem of like, why is this true and what can we do?
So, are students your target market?
Yes, so our target market is college students who've previously had anywhere from beginning experience to fully achieving fluency in a language. That's not their first. And who are looking for additional conversation practice. So our target is both students who are currently enrolled in a foreign language class and also those who are not.
Well, that's very interesting. So what inspired you to start and work on time spent together?
So I think we might all have different but similar answers for this. I'd say for me, it's a cultural awareness deficit and language learning gap within the United States.
Something that really inspires me as a sociology major is studying socioeconomic disparities and how they arise, and how we can really build a platform that addresses this issue while building community and strengthening relationships in our current society.
I've always been really passionate about educational equity. And I thought that Michelle and Hannah and their venture, I first wanted to join them because I was really passionate about this. And I felt that this was a way that I could really apply my skills in entrepreneurship, business, and also CS to solve this larger problem of socioeconomic disparity and also educational equity. And
Nice.
so this is something that really motivates me in pursuing this venture.
Well, now that you're spending more time developing time spent, what is something surprising that has happened thus far?
Yeah, so something surprising that I think we've all realized is how much a business allows us to grow as people. Learning these valuable skills of setting smaller goals to achieve larger milestones, and learning to work together and clearly communicate what we expect from each other, leading a team, and just collaborating with others.
And how do you believe that B Lab will help you achieve success for time spent?
So we anticipate that B Lab will give us the mentorship we need to further develop our venture. And we're planning on launching a usable prototype during B Lab so we can get our first feedback on this iteration of the idea behind time spent.
Yeah, like what Hannah said, we're working very hard to develop a frictionless platform for our users, pushing out another MVP midsummer, and looking forward to, building our user base by the end of the year.
And with that said, I think that the most valuable part of BLAD is mentors, which Hannah talked about, but just the entire cohort, and also the different organizers and mentors such as Jonas, Liz, have all been super helpful to us.
Well, now, just as a quick last question for our interview, what is the latest series you've been binge watching during quarantine?
I can start off with this. All right, in quarantine,
This question.
I have been binge watching Crash Landing on You, which is a Korean drama that has been pretty popular recently. And also related to kind of the problem we're trying to solve. We're noticing that using shows and movies and culture is a really great way to learn language, which is pretty related.
I have been making fun of Will for watching Crash Landing on You, and I am watching Money Heist because I am proficient in Spanish and want to get more practice listening.
I actually just started watching Insecure with Issa Rae. She is so talented. But if you guys are looking for something to binge, I would 10 out of 10 recommend BoJack Horseman. It's one of my favorite shows.
Well, thank you so much for your time during this interview. Is there anything else you would like to add before we finish?
I also want to give a shout out to our coding team, Erica, Jean, Shenando, and Carlin, who have been super amazing in helping us, achieve our mission. And, with this business, it's not just about um, working together as business partners, but also friends, and learning to support each other in achieving these goals, these larger goals of, solving socioeconomic disparities or building community. And, just by bouncing back ideas between each other, we're able to make just that much larger strides towards our goals.
Well, thank you for joining me today in this interview, and this has been the first episode of our Meet the Venture series for the BLab 2020 cohort. You have just heard and learned more about one of our ventures called Time Spent, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.